Hey, let me welcome you to my studio, which is also my basement and my bunker behind this steel door. Come in. Here on the steps we have some water savings from back in the day when Russians have destroyed the Kakhovka Dam, which resulted a complete draining of the huge water reservoir that was providing our region a fresh water. So this made us live without a water supply for more than 1 month. So that's why we still have those, just in case. Yeah, that was quite tough. It was a summer and there were lots of sea life in this reservoir and all those fishes died. It was 35 plus degrees Celsius and the smell was horrible. It felt like some freaking Bible catastrophe that the end is near, but we're still here. I was still making music. We had some water giveaway spots across the city. It was delivered to us from other cities and it was totally free. It was just enough for living. Of course, all of the loans, farming and all this kind of stuff was impossible, but it's all fixed now. Luckily, we have not more than 1 or 2 days without water supply, so you can definitely cope with that, and this is not a big deal. We are still here, we are making music, we are not running anywhere, because this is exactly what Russians want us to do. They want us all to leave our city, to leave our homes, to destroy the economy, destroy the country, but we are still here, and you can't get us that easy, motherfuckers. Okay, let's move on. Here is my so-called studio that is looking quite fancy on YouTube, but in fact it's very basic and it's a regular tiny basement, and I was trying to extract 100% of it, and I think I've overdone it. We used to spend a lot of time with my wife here. When the shelling of our city just begun, we were really frightened. We used to sleep here and even spend the whole day here working on our laptops. I was working on my music, on my tutorials, and now we are getting down here when the shelling is especially dangerous, when Russians are shelling our neighborhood and the bombs are falling quite close to our place. So we are taking our son, our cat, our dog, and we get down here, wait until the shelling is over and getting back to our place to have some nice, normal, healthy sleep without this horrible smell of mold in this tiny, depressive space. So this is my fancy wall. I painted it black because I like how light falls on the black surface. It used to be this horrible. So I've painted only the visible part of the room for the sake of economy. To save my budget, it was limited. As you can see, here I have a couple of pieces of a plasterboard. And right behind it I have 2 LED strips. And those are connected to my power bank, which was made by my nephew, who is really good in electronics. It's really powerful. And here I have this little touch of red, made by the same nephew. He usually makes this stuff for our army, helping our guys. So this fancy wall is looking like this from this side, and there is this nasty metallic thing hanging right from this wall, but luckily you can't see it on my videos. There's another one because there used to be the same type of shelf on this wall as well. So that was my background, and this is my workspace. It's also looking quite depressive and super messy. As you can see, the camera is connected to my laptop, so I have all the control of my camera settings on here, and I have multiple light sources that have different purposes. This one, you may think that it's quite expensive one. This kind of softbox is probably $100 or $200, but I've made it myself using an old fan and a couple of light bulbs. This one is just an additional blue light that is controlled using this remote controller. I can change the color. Let me disable this. So this is my additional lighting. I've softened it a bit. So I'm picking the color that I like and soften it a bit using this little thing. And this one is just an additional light for my right side of my face. This is for the left side, and there's another one that you probably can see, because the space here is really super small. It's like, I don't know, maybe a bit more than 1 meter, and it's really difficult to achieve the consistent lighting in this little small environment. So I had to make a sort of a wall of light combining these two, because if I put only this one, my face will be lightened up, but all of the rest of me will be really dark, so this side is glowing. There's another one, this little lamp. It's also have this soft cover, and this one is serving as my background lighting. It's great, this nice contour line on my face. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light sources, and we have 1, 2, 3 on the background, which makes it 8 light sources. Plus there is my laptop's monitor, which is always set to maximum to give some additional lighting. So this is my setup. If we count the approximate amount of money that I spent on this equipment, I bet it will be less than $20. Here I have 4 light bulbs. In this case it's 3. I've removed the one, and I'm currently using only one of those. It's working quite well, and here I have some reflecting thing. And let's take a look what's behind. As you can see, that's an actual old fan. Here I have 5 buttons. They used to serve for changing the fan speed, and I've tweaked those a bit, and now they are serving to control each separate light bulb. So this old fan cost me nothing. 4 light bulbs cost me, I don't know, maybe $5 or $10. I've made this DIY softbox in 2017, shortly after I started making tutorials, and of course, obviously I had no budget. I wanted to make it as cheap as possible, and as you can see, this softbox is serving me like 7 or 8 years already, and it's working perfectly. I see no reason buying a $100 or $200 equipment, because this one is working great in any location. I'm using it for any type of video that I'm recording. What's really good about this setup is that I have lots of stuff that is working on batteries or using a power bank. My laptop is also not plugged in, and my camera is working on a battery. So every time we have no electricity after the Russian missile attacks, I can easily remove my car battery and connect it to my power inverter and plug it to all of my light sources, and voila, I'm able to record tutorials even when we have no electricity at all, to keep providing you guys with some fresh stuff. There's no stopping me, even freaking Russian missiles and artillery attacks, so don't worry. Look at this, that's another ridiculous stuff. Those are my winter tires for my car. They are serving as a table. This is the one of those temporary decisions when you're making it thinking of, well, I will make something better later, but it stays on and it's working just fine, so why not? And also here I have the heater because during the winter times it's getting freezing cold down here underground and I have to turn this thing on. You know what's the purpose of this video? It's not to tell you how pity I am, how my life is unfair and to make you feel sorry about me, but it's to motivate you. A lot of you guys keep asking me how to find a motivation to make music, to keep climbing up, to achieve your dream and your goal. And the one rule that I've learned for myself from all these more than 10 years of music production is this, listen closely. You should stop knocking on the doors and start breaking in. This industry is very rough and you should adopt. If you really want to find a motivation, I don't recommend you to live the life I'm living, but I can suggest you to leave your comfort zone. If you can't do it physically, do it mentally. Stop finding yourself an excuses, because an excuse is a reason for you not to do something or not to do something really good, the best you can. So stopping finding those excuses is the first and the most significant step to self-improvement and to actually start working your ass off to achieve your goal. I really often hear something like, well, my mix is not clean enough because I have bad headphones and my laptop is really weak, I can't work on it, I can't record tutorials for YouTube, my camera is so bad. Man, look at my 2016 tutorials. This was my very first Phenomsound channel. It doesn't exist anymore, but I had more than 2,000 subscribers with this kind of content here. The only fancy piece of equipment I had at that time was this $100 microphone that I got when I was 17, working on a scrapyard. Yeah, I was chopping some old washing machines with an axe, and this is exactly what I mean by getting out of your comfort zone. Right before that, I entered the university. My specialization was in applied physics, and I decided that this is not what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I dropped the university to pursue the main passion of my life, which of course was always the music. And as long as you're making freaking great music, or at least good music that people love, you're on the right track, and this is the exact thing that you want to do, making good music and doing the best you can. So you see, I've made all this stuff myself from tons of old shit and investing really small amount of money into this to at least start with something, and hopefully once it will grow into something really big. And the only thing that I can rely on is my talent and my ability to keep working, keep making music in any type of situation, no matter how tough the life is. It goes on and we should adapt in any situation.